What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma if you're new here, and I love to talk about all things Peloton, cycling, and fitness. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post every single Sunday. In today's video, I'm very excited about. Peloton has just released another program called Beginner Pilates with Kristin McGee. The description is join Kristin for a week of introductory classes, all designed to help you start your Pilates journey. Each class will focus on a core Pilates principle and will build step by step towards a more confident practice. And I feel like I am really into yoga now. I wake up, I'm excited to do yoga, and I just haven't made that bridge to Pilates. I know Pilates is different than yoga, but in my head, they're similar vibes. Pilates is probably harder, but I'd love to take some introductory courses. I've definitely taken Pilates classes here and there on Peloton, but I just feel like for the most part, I don't know what I'm doing. So when I saw this program, I was super excited to check it out. It is 1 week, 6 days a week, 7 classes, and 10 to 20 minutes a day. Honestly, I probably will split this over 2 weeks just because I am ramping up how much I run. So days that I do a long run, I don't want to do other exercise. I totally get why Peloton makes these programs because I feel like there is a sense of urgency to take all these classes so you don't forget, because I'm sure that they build on top of each other. But I also wish there was just some way to set the program and be hey, I actually want to do this program in 2 weeks, design it for me where I do it 3 times a week for 2 weeks. But I don't know, that's probably out of Peloton's technical capabilities. And I don't know if they really want the programs to be taken that way, but that's probably how I'll take it. It's not really a big deal. You can just start the program, do whatever classes you do, then restart the program when you run out of the week, and then skip the classes you already did and continue. But I did still really want to take this program. I think that, I'll probably learn something new. And I just feel like this is exactly what I need to learn more about Pilates. I really like Peloton's beginner programs. I took the yoga one 3 years ago at this point, and it was super helpful at the time. So today I'm going to be taking 2 classes because class 1 is just a 5-minute intro to program. The description is let Kristin guide you through breathwork practice as you learn more about what your week of Pilates classes will look like. They started doing this in a lot of the 1 week programs where the first class is just a 5-minute class where they mostly just talk to you. Not a huge fan, but it's only 5 minutes, so we'll see if this one is useful or helpful at all. And then we go into class 2, which is a 10-minute Pilates class taught by Kristin McGee, tagged beginner. The description is strengthen your mind and body as Kristin leads you through the beginner Pilates practice. Today's principle of focus is concentration. I really don't know what to expect from these classes. I am not a Pilates expert at all. So let's go hit the mat and knock out these 2 Pilates classes. I think both of those classes were pretty good intro classes. The first 5-minute class was just straight talking. In other programs, sometimes they do little breath work or something. No, it's literally just giving you a background. So you could listen to that really whenever, you don't need to be ready to work out. But Kristin basically just talks about the founder of Pilates. She references the machines in Pilates too, and is oh, after taking this program, you could move on to the machines. I believe that's reformers Pilates. She also talked about the 6 foundational values of Pilates, and today's was concentration. She named all of them, and I think for the rest of this program, you'll do 1 a day. And yeah, that was pretty much it for the intro. Kind of interesting. It was nice to hear. And then she also walked over the schedule of the program, which I don't think we need to do that because we can all read. We all signed up for this program, but some people might like it. And then we got into the next 10-minute Pilates class today. And the thing with Pilates is that it never feels that hard until it is. That's kind of my motto with Pilates. So we start out and we're doing a lot of pelvis tilts. She's oh, imagine there's a marble on your stomach and you're trying to roll it different ways, which is obviously core work, but I found it pretty manageable. Like our feet were on the ground, nothing bad. Then we started like doing raises into tabletop, like one leg at a time. And then we went into tabletop and did some toe taps. And that wasn't that bad either. But I think the hardest thing, and we did it at the end, she called it the 100, is you like sit up with your legs in front of you, and then you're supposed to have like a very straight spine, which is something that I struggle with just doing that. She said if it was hard to either bend your knees or to put like a little blanket beneath your butt so that you could like sit up at a better angle. I just tried to do it normally. We'll see when I like look back on the tape of myself doing it if I actually look straight. But then you also had to hold your arms ahead of you and like do a flutter. And I found that to be a pretty hard move. It definitely like activates the core a lot, and just trying to maintain the like straight up position I thought was hard. So that was pretty much the whole class, like nothing super crazy. But I could tell I got a little bit of a core workout there, and it was just the first day. It's definitely gonna get harder as the week goes on, but I'm excited to take the rest of the classes. I feel like even right now, like we're really getting into like the basics of Pilates, which is what I need. So 10 out of 10 to the second class. I don't know, like a 5 out of 10 the first class. It depends how interested you are in like just back talk. But I really enjoyed both classes today, and I'm excited to continue this program. It is now Thursday morning, 2 days later. Wednesdays, I typically do long runs, so I don't do any other exercise. But now I'm ready to get right back into this Pilates program. And day 2 class is class 3. It is a 10 minutes Pilates class by Kristin McGee, tagged beginner. The description is strengthen your mind and body as Kristin leads you through the beginner Pilates practice. Today's principle of focus is control. And for some reason, control makes me think of isometric holds. I don't know where that came from. It could be that she's like kind of leaning back in the picture. But you know, we'll see. I'm excited to get back into it. So let's just hit the mat and knock out this 10-minute Pilates class. I thought that was another really great intro class. So we started off reviewing everything we did in class 1, which I always appreciate a review, and I felt like it was a good length. It was only like a minute or two, and we kind of just went through everything again. So refresher, we did some like pelvic tilts and then some toe taps, and then we finished off with doing the 100s, which, you know, those are hard. We did a slightly different variation today, but same idea. And then we got into the meat of this class, which was focusing on roll-ups, which in my limited experience in Pilates, these happen kind of frequently. So I think it was a good thing to have a class on. So a roll-up is where you're laying down and then you like roll up, roll forward. So we started by practicing the beginning part of a roll-up, which is a lot of upper ab work. So she's like, oh, like lift up as much as you can, like without straining your neck, without getting your lower abs involved. So we practiced that a few times. Then we rolled completely up, and she's like, you can grab your thighs and like pull yourself if need be. Obviously, we want to get to the point that doesn't happen, but it's not an easy move. And then we also practiced like the upper part of the roll up. So then once we were up, we like went back a little bit, rolled up, rolled up. Then we did the full roll up a couple times. And I thought it was helpful to break down the move just because I have seen it before and I've done it, but definitely not with like the best form. And then after the roll ups, we laid back down, had our knees bent, and we just lifted 1 foot at a time and made like tiny circles, which I've also done in Pilates before. So that was just helpful to be introduced to another move. And we spent some time like doing it on one side, doing it on the other, going the opposite direction. We just really slowed down some of the moves I've seen in Pilates before, which I really appreciated. It's nice to take a second and really focus on form and be like, you know, this is how you should be feeling. She gave some tips, like you should be feeling this in your core, or if you shouldn't be. So overall, great class. I'm excited to take the rest, and I feel like it is helping me really like build out and practice the foundational moves of Pilates. It is now Friday, and I feel like I say this in every single video, but I absolutely love Fridays. The weekend is so close. But first we got to get through a workout and a day of work. So today I'm doing day 3 recommended of the Pilates program, class 4. It is still a 10 minutes Pilates class, tagged beginner by Kristin McGee. And the description is strengthen your mind and body as Kristin leads you through the beginner Pilates practice. Today's principal focus is center. And she appears to be holding a towel in the cover photo. So I'm going to have to go find one, but I liked all the classes so far. So I'm really excited to go and start this one. The majority of that class was a review, but I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing because it is a beginner program, so it was nice to review things again. We started out with some pelvic tilts, and then we like raised one foot and the other and did toe taps. Then we brought both up into a like 90-degree angle and did toe taps that way. Then we threw in dead bugs with those toe taps, which is a new thing. So we moved like the opposite arm, opposite leg together, brought them down, brought them back up. That move is hard. Like this definitely worked your core. The moves don't look that hard, but just continuously doing it, I could definitely feel the burn towards the end. We did our 100s, which is like the fluttering, while also keeping our like backs arched in a like upward position. So you were using your upper core. Then we did our leg circles. So just everything that we've done in this past like 2 classes. And then we did roll up. So we did grab a towel for that. We just held it tight. And I think that was just like a different way to do roll ups. If you don't have a towel, I don't think it's that big of a deal. We don't use it for that long, but it was nice to kind of feel a different way to do the roll ups. Then there was only like 2 minutes left in class, but we did introduce one extra move, which was rolling up into a ball and then like rolling back and forth. And the main thing here is that you don't want to roll back up with momentum. You like want to roll back up with your core, which is very hard. I was definitely like struggling at the top to like roll completely up, but I appreciated the distinction between the two because I feel like in the past I've just always used momentum because it's obviously easier and I don't really know what I'm doing when it comes to Pilates. So it was nice to practice that move. Then we did stretches and we were done. A quick 10-minute class. I appreciate all the review. I would like to start adding some more moves. I think after this class, we go up to 15 minutes, so there'll be a little more time to add more moves. But so far, so good. I like the class today. I didn't think it was like overly difficult, but it definitely is starting to work your core. We're really starting to get a lot of moves in there, but I liked it. It was fun. It is now Monday morning, so it's been a couple of days, but I'm feeling rested and refreshed and ready to get back into this Pilates program. So today is day 5 recommended, class 5, a 15-minute Pilates class tagged beginner by Kristin McGee. The description is strengthen your mind and body as Kristin leads you through the beginner Pilates practice. Today's principle of focus is precision. And we're getting up to 15 minutes, so you know, I expect a lot of review, but we'll see what the new moves are today. And let's just hit the mat and knock out this Pilates class. Kristin is really starting to ramp up the heat in this program. Even though it was only 5 minutes longer, I feel like it was definitely harder than the last couple of classes. We did a ton of review, but in those reviews, we really focused on our abs. We did like roll-ups, we did the 100s. So we pretty much did everything that we've done previously. And then for the addition, we did a lot of like single leg stretches where we would like be pulsing one leg in the air and like the other one's down and then switch, or we'd be really like bringing one knee close to our chest. So kind of like slower bicycles. And then at the end, we also did hip bridges, but like slowly. And I like hip bridges, but I don't typically do them like super slow going up and down. And man, oh man, that time under tension, I could really feel it in my abs. I did like the class today, but I can see that we're ramping up and we kind of have done a lot of basic moves, which we keep doing in these classes, but every time we like make it a little bit harder. But honestly, I think it's a good thing. Like, I feel like we're working towards being able to take normal Pilates classes. So I'm glad that she brought a little bit of heat today. I think it was a great class to kind of kick off Monday morning, the workout week, time to get back into it. And my abs are still on fire. I can feel it a little bit. It is now the next day. It is Tuesday morning, and my Pilates program actually ran out because I started it last Tuesday. Took too many rest days, but it's not a big deal. I can just restart the program, skip the first 5 classes, and now I'm ready to take class 6. I don't think it's a huge deal that I didn't finish it in a week. But today I'm ready to do class 6, which is a 15-minute Pilates class, tagged beginner by Kristin McGee. The description is strengthen your mind and body as Kristin leads you through the beginner Pilates practice. Today's principle of focus is breath. And I found that breath work is super, super important in strength, and especially in heavy lifting. Once you get the breath work right, like, that's a game changer. You're going to be able to lift so much heavier, do the form so much better. So I'm excited that we're taking some time in this program to talk about breath work and really see when you're supposed to breathe in these different moves. I really think this is going to help me get better at Pilates. So let's hit the mat and knock out this Pilates class. I like that class, but I didn't love it. It definitely is good for breath work, but there was also a lot of review. We pretty much did all review until like maybe the last 2 minutes where we just breathed on our stomachs. So that wasn't really like a new move, but we started off just breathing, really taking in deep breaths, which I do acknowledge is important. A lot of people breathe shallow, me included. So it was good to kind of get in the mindset to do deep breaths. Then we went into the 100s, which makes sense because you breathe in every 5 counts, breathe out every 5 counts. So we had already done like a little breath work with those before, but like really focusing on the breath work. And man, oh man, are those hard? And we like do a lot of them. Towards the end, my core was really dying. After that, we did a lot of different leg movements, like putting our legs into circles, doing like single leg stretches, which is basically like slow bicycles. And yeah, every time we would have different ways to breathe in and breathe out. And I felt like it made the move easier a lot of the time when you were breathing with the instructor. So I appreciated her going over it. I thought it was useful. It's just not like the most entertaining thing to do, but it's definitely worth doing and like worth building that skill. And then yeah, we just finished off by breathing on our stomachs because you can feel the breathing really easily when you're on your stomach because it's like pressing into the floor. And yeah, that was pretty much the whole class. I would say probably an easier one, but it was important to kind of get that technique down. And I'm glad that we covered it in preparation of like tomorrow's class. So I'm excited. There's only one class left. So I think it'll be kind of like a culmination of everything we've learned. And yeah, so far so good. It is now 2 days later. It's Thursday morning. I took a break from Pilates yesterday because I do my long run on Wednesdays, but now I'm back and ready to wrap up this entire program with a 20-minute Pilates class tagged beginner by Kristin McGee. So we are going the longest that we've gone in this program. I feel like 20 minutes is really starting to get up there into a full workout. The description is strengthen your mind and body as Kristin leads you through the beginner Pilates practice. Today's principle of focus is breath. So exactly the same as yesterday. I'm interested to see like what the extra 5 minutes are. I have a feeling this class is going to be kind of hard, but we'll see. Let's just hit the mat and knock out this final Pilates class. That was not my favorite Pilates class in this program. It was basically a complete repeat of the previous day's class. And then with the last 5 minutes, I honestly think that she didn't know what to do. I don't know if she didn't want to like introduce new moves on the last day, but we just did like a plank and then some push-ups, which was kind of weird. I don't know. I guess you do those at Pilates, but it just felt like disconnected from the rest of the class. And then, yeah, the rest of the class was literally a repeat of day 6, which, I didn't hate, but I didn't absolutely love either. I thought it was a little bit boring. I think overall, this program is good if you don't know what Pilates is at all and you're worried about taking Pilates classes, I'm just not sure how much it will help you above like beginner Pilates classes. I do feel like we did a good deep dive into certain moves like the 100s. Like I definitely know what those are supposed to feel like, which they do burn, but I feel like we also missed out on like a lot of other Pilates class, and the fact that it kept repeating and was like pretty slow was good at the beginning because it is like a program that's trying to ramp you up, but then towards the end, I'm like not confident that if I took a Pilates class, I would be able to keep up. I still think that I would struggle. So I'm not sure exactly how much I got out of this program. I think it'll be more telling as I take like more Pilates classes on Peloton and see if I can like do them better, because I would say that Pilates is probably the thing that I'm least comfortable with on Peloton currently. Like whenever I take Pilates classes, it's usually not that good of a time just because it's not something that I do regularly. Like even with bar, I feel like I can keep up with bar better than Pilates. And that's the other thing that I realized by doing this program. I always thought Pilates and bar were pretty similar and that they're both about small movements. And while I do agree with that, I feel like Pilates is way more core focused. Like pretty much everything we did in this program is for your core. So just be prepared. As someone who doesn't love to work out her core, it definitely was a lot. It does kind of feel just like a core workout class disguised as something else. But I can also appreciate having core workout be in a different format than just like a core workout class, because you might enjoy this more than just like a typical core workout class. Jury is definitely still out for me if I like this more than just like a normal core class. There's definitely benefits and drawbacks to both Pilates and like just doing a regular core class. I also think that Pilates in general is a little more interesting when it's on a machine. So I believe that's called reformer Pilates rather than just a mat class. But Peloton is working with what they have. Not everybody has a reformer's machine at home, so it makes sense that these are mat classes. I also thought Kristin was a good instructor. I feel like she explained things very clearly. She did give some modifications, but I honestly feel like she could have given even more modifications just because some of the moves I thought were a little hard. Even I would have taken a modification if she had offered it up, but a lot of the times she did not. Overall, if you're interested in Pilates at all, I would still recommend this program. I think it does like ramp you up slightly and kind of like get the feel for what Pilates is and like what a real Pilates class would look like. So I do think that the program kind of does its intended purpose. I would love to see another program from Peloton that's like, okay, you've done beginner Pilates, like let's kind of amp it up. Let's do some more moves that build on top of each other. Like I'd love to see a program that was structured the same way with even harder or more complex moves. But we'll see, maybe it is in the works. Peloton's definitely been killing it with the programs lately. I'm very happy that they've been releasing like a lot more for strength, Pilates. I'd love to see a bar one. I know there's a couple yoga ones already. They're really building up their like program library, which I always appreciate. So that is it for this video. Definitely let me know if you've taken this Pilates program, and if so, what you think. I would be very, very curious. I hope you guys are staying safe, having an awesome week, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!